Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. That is at Sam Newsman on Instagram and at Sam Newsman over here on YouTube. Been quite an interesting show. Of course, we've had a lot of interesting guests. It is a Thanksgiving holiday weekend. So I hope that you and your family had a wonderful time sitting around the dinner table and stuffing your face with what the average person has is 4,500 calories. Yeah, 4,500 calories is the total amount that people eat during the holiday season. Been having some phone calls coming in from all over the country, if you will, all over Kentucky, the Pacific Northwest, also here in Virginia. Phone calls all over the place. 804 289 UR90, 804 289 8790. Now, of course, one of the interesting things that happened a few days ago. Are you familiar with the company Balenciaga? Yeah, are you familiar with Balenciaga? Balenciaga had a photography campaign the other day, and of course, over on Twitter, it seemed to get quite a bit of backlash over on Twitter just because of the content in which was being shown. Now, if you have not heard about it, that's Balenciaga, Balenciaga, Balenciaga. And of course, so this is coming from TMZ the other day. Balenciaga, it says S&M ads for kids' clothing stirs controversy even among celebrities. So yeah, S&M ads for kids' clothing. Balenciaga is getting a major backlash for its bondage-inspired kids' clothing campaign. And celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Bella Hadid are even feeling the heat because of their connection to the company. The luxury brand rolled out the shocking ads for its spring 2023 collection. The photos depicted children gripping teddy bears clad in S&M gear and quickly started going viral. Almost immediately, people responded with outrage on social media, demanding a boycott of the company. Now, of course, there was a statement that they released saying that we sincerely apologize for any offense our holiday campaign may have caused. Our plush bear bag should have not been featured with children in this ad campaign. We have immediately removed the campaign from all platforms. Well, of course they did, but you know what? The campaign had to get green light by somebody in HR. Is that not correct? Balenciaga executives quickly pulled all the ads Tuesday and issued an apology. Their statement read, "We sincerely apologize, blah, 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 everything I just said. We apologize for displaying unsettling documents in our campaign as well." Now, there was documents that was talking about, just a couple of legal actions that took place as well. "We apologize for displaying unsettling documents on our campaign. We take this matter very seriously and are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unapproved items for our Spring 23 campaign photo shoot. We strongly condemn the abuse of children in any form. And we stand for the children's safety and well-being." The executives went on to say they plan to take the legal action of the ads unapproved. Now, of course, it seems that they have done that. The Balenciaga files a $25 million lawsuit against the producers of the controversial BDSM teddy bear campaign. So this is coming from the New York Post as of this morning. Filed a $25 million lawsuit against the producers of controversial ad campaign that includes my goodness gracious, court ruling and BDSM Teddy Bear's new court papers show the fashion house brought the suit Friday against the production company North Six Incorporated and the set designer Nicholas Desjardins and his eponymous company for the inclusion in one of the ads of legal documents from a U.S. Supreme Court decision on child porn laws. That's bad. This is really bad. The fashion brand ad also showed unsettling pictures of childs holding teddy bears dressed in bondage outfits. The two-page court summons doesn't mention the BDSM teddy bears. Balenciaga is bringing the case to seek redress for extensive damages defendants caused in connection with an advertising campaign Balenciaga hired them to produce. So this is a big deal. Big deal. Now the Balenciaga photographer speaks out over the child model controversy as well. But upset Kim Kardashian reacts to Balenciaga controversy. So she finally did come out and say something about it. But this just goes back to just some of the conspiracies that are all abound all over the place. Ties us back to Epstein Island. Epstein Island, the whole concept of what was going on, what was really going on down there. And of course, this is just disturbing. It was disturbing. Now, of course, once again, my question is that someone had to green light this advertising campaign. Now, I'm familiar with advertising as well and how all of this advertising stuff goes about. But for the fact that this ad campaign was able to get through, so somebody gave it the green light. Said, "Oh, well, this is a great idea to have these children holding these teddy bears." Now, once again, give credit where credit is due, that they did come out and they condemned it and everything. But once again, my question is how did it get greenlit in the first place? Somebody had to sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and just post it." It's not like that. So it's not like these executives over at Balenciaga can sit there and wash their hands clean and say that, "Oh, well, we didn't have anything. Well, we had no idea. We had no idea until after all of a sudden and we started going viral on Twitter." And of course, I remember seeing one article that was just saying, "Oh, well, this is just a conspiracy and blah, blah, blah." But listen, you guys were the ones that posted the photographs. So, of course, I want to know, once again, is who in HR greenlit that? And were they held responsible? Were they fired? Because that's what I want to know. Because this is just disturbing on all sorts of levels. Listen, here I am trying to sit there and get through the holiday season. And of course, I have this story that comes out. I have a story where there was a shooting at a nightclub over in Colorado. And then just down the street in Chesapeake, there was a shooting at a Walmart. What is going on around here? We're supposed to have a wonderful holiday Thanksgiving season. And I got, things all over the place going. And of course, I have rubber-faced mask Biden, of course, coming in. Talking about automatic weapons. Of course, no automatic weapons were used in either of those events, from what I'm told is a handgun, if I'm not mistaken. But it's quite incredible. Of course, we're trying to have Thanksgiving, have a Thanksgiving weekend, and this is the kind of mess that I have to sit there and go over during the week, which is just out of control. And it's out of control. What do you mean that there's somebody on the phone? Oh, Lord, goodness gracious. Here we go. I wonder who this is. Yes, caller, you are here live with the most trusted puppet in media. State your name.
Samuel, patch me in.
No, it's General. I'm sorry. Yeah, General. You are here. You're here live.
Hello, Samuel. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. I'm just reading over some of the ridiculous news items that have happened this week. Balenciaga and this children with S&M Bears and whatever. And then all of a sudden we have some shootings in Colorado, shootings over in Chesapeake. And all I really want to talk about is just how most people have about 4,500 calories that they eat on a Thanksgiving day. And I just want to talk about Thanksgiving. I want to talk about shopping, but I got all this news that is happening all over the country from top to bottom, and it's just going nuts. How are you?
Samuel, I'm doing as well as I always am. And I'm actually calling you this morning because you're supposed to stick to the script, Samuel. And rather than worrying about who approved the ad campaign, you need to worry about whether or not what you're talking about has been approved. Now, Samuel, Will and Tommy that are in the corner there. You know what their responsibilities are. And you're supposed to follow through on what our expectation is for you, puppet. So keep it in line. The approved messages are: we have college football today. We have the World Cup. We have Kanye, Kim, whoever else. Please stay on topic. Don't get off topic, Samuel.
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean get off topic? I mean, I'm trying to do my part as the most trusted puppet in media. Every Saturday morning, the people sit there and they want to hear the stories. They want to hear the hard stories. And they want to know what's going on. And of course, leave it to me. Now I know that people just want to hear cartoon themes, want to talk about toys and action figures. But I am doing a service to all people, trying to let them know what's going on. And you're telling me that I can't be talking about any of this stuff?
You don't give the people what they want. You give them what we want.
And what you want is just is the World Cup.
Maybe not the World Cup. I am still American, Samuel, but definitely football. We have Ohio State and Michigan. Both of those sides think the other side is an idiot, so it's always fun to watch idiots play each other. And we need to keep the consumer focused in the right area. Black Friday, get out there and spend your dollars. All right, turn on the television, watch your Christmas pop. Don't tune into the news. Certainly don't get on Twitter. Everybody knows what's going on Twitter. We'll have that back under control very soon. Okay, Samuel. So don't worry. Those of you out there in the listening audience that are concerned, we have control of that and are working our way through it once this upset is kind of rectified. But Samuel, back on track. I don't want to have to call again.
Oh, okay, General. Well, you have a wonderful holiday. Wait, he just hangs up. He just hangs up. He calls me and tells me to stay on script because here I am, a media puppet, and tells me to stay on script. And now, yeah, okay. So, all right. So back to what I'm supposed to be talking about: spending money and football. Let me see here. I think I got a little something over here. Yes, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so today at 2:00, Davidson at Richmond. That's here. Davidson at Richmond here. That's at 2 p.m. The radio station will be 106.1 FM. As Davidson here at Richmond, it's the FCS playoffs here as well. So that is today. Like I said, Ohio State and Michigan. And, well, what the World Cup? Well, the World Cup, the United States team and in England, they tied. It was a draw. So nothing really happened there on that front in terms of what's going on in the World Cup. Did you hear that Saudi Arabia, I think, upset Argentina? And then the Saudi prince bought everyone, I think the entire team, each person on the team, a Bugatti, I believe it was Bugatti or a Lamborghini. I don't know. It was one of those fancy cars that that none of you could ever afford. But yeah, he ended up buying everyone on the team. Now, another thing that happened is that Japan, they won their match. And when Japan won their match, all their fans stayed and picked up the trash in the stadium. So kudos to the Japanese for cleaning up the stadium after their win, which was very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the Giants and the Cowboys set an NFL regular season record for its viewers. Twitter loses 50 of its top advertisers. And let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. Next strain could be more. Employers rethink need for college degrees. Well, here you go. That's something that's very interesting. So we'll pull that up here and go over that because obviously I can't talk about what seems to be hot on the internet per the general's request. Listen, you guys in the back, just stay back there. Of course, I got the guys in the black suits sitting there. They're all looking at me like I'm about to say something ridiculous again. Listen, I didn't say anything ridiculous in the first place. So. Let's see here. We're able to pull this up. The tight labor. Okay, so this is coming from the Wall Street Journal. Employers rethink the need for college degrees in a tight labor market. The tight labor market is prompting more employers to eliminate one of the biggest requirements for many higher paying jobs, the need for a college degree. Companies such as Alphabet Inc., Google, Delta Airlines Incorporated, International Business Machines Corp. Have reduced educational requirements for certain positions and shifted hiring to focus more on skills and experience. Maryland this year cut college degree requirements for many of its state jobs, leading to a surge in hiring, and incoming Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro campaigned on a similar initiative. U.S. job posting requiring at least a bachelor's degree were 41% in November, down from 46% at the start of 2019, ahead of the pandemic, according to an analyst by the Burning Glass Institute, a think tank that studies the future of work. Degree requirements dropped even more early in the pandemic, and they have grown since then, but remain below pandemic levels. The shift comes as demand for workers remains high and unemployment is low. Job postings far outpace the number of unemployed people looking for work. 10.7 million openings in September compared with 5.8 million unemployed, creating unusually stiff competition for workers. The persistently tight labor market has accelerated the trend that builds on a debate about the benefits and drawbacks of encouraging more people to attend a four-year college as organizations try to address racial disparities in the workplace. So, as it comes to find out that, a lot of times you used to have a college degree You used to have a college degree in order to get a lot of these positions. And now they're telling us that you don't necessarily need it. You need to have experience. Of course, there's been people that have been saying that you need to have experience all this time, as opposed to having a college degree. But it seems now, because the labor market is in short supply of workers, that now people now have to end up getting. Hey, listen, you're at the. What do you mean? What do you mean you just came out of high school? Well, you know what? If they were applied themselves correctly in high school, you might be able to get a really high paying job instead of just going into, well, it's a service work or something. But very interesting, very, very interesting what's going on there. Yeah, so that seems to be the case with that. And whew, man, oh, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Let's see. Oh, well, let's see. Oh yeah, Twitter loses 50 top advertisers. That's an interesting story. We'll talk about some of those on what we learned today, and that's one to learn with. But lost 50 of its top 100 advertisers since Elon Musk took over. So that'd be very interesting. We'll talk about that in the final segment here in just a few moments. A couple of other things just to look forward to. USA, like I said, earned respect at the World Cup, and that's very interesting. Let's see. And well, here's a big interesting thing. Well, and here's the next question. And of course, a couple of weeks ago we were at Politics and Pints over with the people over at WRVA. Of course, what I was asking people is whether or not it was going to be DeSantis or Trump. But the question now is Biden going to run again? I believe Biden just celebrated his 80th birthday. And so the question is, the next question that I'll ask people in the line is Biden going to run for a second term? Because it seems to be that Gavin Newsom is going to be the guy who's going to step up to the plate. It's not even going to be Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris doesn't look like she's the front runner if Biden is out. So if Biden is out, it's not even going to be Kamala. It looks like that the media push is for Newsom, which will be very interesting. It'll be very interesting. So we have to keep an eye on that, and we shall as things continue to progress. The 2024 election season is in full swing. It is. I know we just had a vote, and it's only going to be 2023 next year. But the reality is that, well, of course, here I am, a real media puppet, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that is talking about current events. So my thing that I want to know about is whether or not that Biden will be running again. So I mean, well, listen, he did say that. Listen, he did say. Well, I mean, listen, he already beat Trump once, right? So of course, I think that they welcome that fight. At least the blue team does. Listen, I don't hold. Listen, I don't have a. Listen, I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm just rooting for interesting. People always ask, what side are you on? Are you red or blue? I'm neither red nor blue. I'm a healthy shade of purple. A healthy shade of purple, and that's just that's one of the benefits of being a trusted media puppet, the most trusted puppet in media. So what is that? Pepto Pink. Yeah, that's what someone called me. They called me Pepto Pink, but that's the truth. That's the truth. And of course, as we move forward, we'll just keep an eye out on all of that, and hopefully the general will allow us to report on that. I mean, we should see. Not really sure. So, well, anyways, it's Ash Bailey says I'm grayish brown. I would say I'm black and white, but that might cause division too. Can't say black or white. Good grief. There's nothing that you can say. But what you can say is that I hope that all of you had a happy Thanksgiving. I got one more little Thanksgiving treat here, a little Thanksgiving song. And of course, then we'll go to our sitcom themes, little sitcom themes that we have going on. And of course, want to thank everyone, of course, for listening to the show. That's at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman over here on YouTube. And once again, hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back in just a few minutes with our final segment of That's One to Learn With, otherwise known as What We Learned Today, here in the final segment of the show. No, I'm not a brother, Lone Dragon. I'm not a brother, and I'm not a sister. If you're wondering what I'm doing. So yes, I'm talking to people in the chat. We do have people in the chat. That's yeah, Prophet. I can't read that about the general. If I read that about the general, call back, and I don't want him to call back. Yeah, we're all doomed. Well, no, we're not all doomed, Ash. We're not all doomed because here I am setting the standard, raising the bar. Kinzo's collection. I see Kinzo's collection. Kinzo, we are also broadcasting live here on YouTube as well. So everybody, Kinzo's collection. If you have a chance to go follow Kinzo's collection on Instagram. Kinzo does a lot of custom work, doing a lot of custom work with Modi. Familiar with Modi? Modi is one of the perks and bonuses from the recent Eternia campaign, but he's doing some of his own. So, yeah, Bruce, you're right. I better stay on the script or else. So, Kinzo, shout out to Kinzo. Kinzo, just in case you didn't know, that you can always listen to the show live, WDCE 90.1 FM. But another thing that you want to do is you want to download the Simple Radio app. So the broadcast signal only goes out about 8 to 10 miles. 8 to 10 miles. A shout out to the Line and the Princess of Power. Good morning to you as well. And so, but the broadcast signal only goes out about 8 to 10 miles. So what you want to do is you want to download the Simple Radio app. Download the Simple Radio app. Search WDCE so you can listen to all the songs that we don't play here. Because they're all licensed. Can't play licensed songs and things like that over the YouTube feed and also the Instagram feed. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. But like I said, download the Simple Radio app, search WDCE, and you can listen to the songs here on the radio that you only hear on the radio when you're listening to that feed. So once again, we'll be back in a few moments. We got one more Thanksgiving song for you guys to listen to, and then we'll have a couple of sitcom themes, and we'll be back on the other side with what we learned today. And that's one to learn with, or whatever, something like that. Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond, you're listening to 90.1 FM, the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.